Testing. Okay, great. Okay. We're going to try this one last time for everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate you all being here and staying for this final presentation. My name is Glenn. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this now. Yes. My name is Glenn LaRue Smith. I'm the co-founder of Push Studio, landscape design and urban design practice based in Washington, D.C. Here with my partner, Vincent Husvet Camacho, a co-founder and managing partner. And also a member of our team is Public Engagement Associates with Steve Brigham, Kim Sesko, and Hala Hayes, and our historic preservation consultant, Jeffrey Free Harris, and Jordan Weber, our artist from New York City, wasn't able to make it tonight. So, is that, yes, okay. It's working for us. So I'm going to talk a bit about our design process, which we think is very important. So we're guided by 3 core steps, which includes reveal, inspire, and shape. So each core step builds upon the other with community input as a strategic element. Reveal is our approach to exploring all the historical, cultural, and environmental, political, and other aspects of the project site as they relate to the client and the client needs and the community needs. This is, in a sense, an archaeological dig into the heart of a place and its people and its physical context. And also this is accomplished through site-based research, archival and field investigations, and through this, the place reveals itself to us. Then we go into inspire, which we think is a very important step, which involves information gained from the reveal step to inspire participation through site-specific design narratives. This becomes a more intensive community engagement step where the client, the community, and other stakeholders become an integral part of the project team. Team in capital letters, because it not only includes us as a professional team, but it becomes a much bigger team that includes the community and stakeholders. So this is an important step because it helps us say to the client and the community, we understand that the project cannot be successful unless you contribute to and buy into how the design process is progressing. These hands-on interviews, design labs, historical discussions help us link closely to the community, and Kim will be discussing our community engagement steps. The next step in our process is shape, and this is a step that allows the team to develop a form for the open spaces and the regenerative art features. The team artist, Jordan Weber, is key in this step of the process. He creates an art in action dialogue with the community to shape a design expression within each park, each of the 6 parks. Vincent will be discussing how we came about creating sculptural expressions within the 6 parks in Charlottesville. Our proposal works to shape a collaborative physical and spatial art expression for each of these 6 parks. So this personally is a very powerful image for me, and one that I brought to the team in terms of the idea of land, which Vincent will also get into. So I want to, before Free, our historian, comes up and gives us a little bit of historical context, I want to leave this impression with you with a few sentences from our proposal board. The vision is clear for LandForge: to create spaces that heal wounds, celebrate resilience, and invite all people into the ongoing work of equity and belonging. LandForge is both a reminder of what has been lost and a call to action for what can still be forged together. Do you mind clicking for me? Oh, yes, I'll click for you.
Good evening. You all can hear me well? Good. So, my name is Jeffrey Harris. I'm a Hampton, Virginia-based historian and historic preservation consultant. And as an historian, I tend to focus on context. I often tend to try to find ways to incorporate all the things I find historically into a larger historical narrative. So the reason that I asked to include this image of Zion Bryant is because I had the pleasure of being asked by Rob Shetterly to write the companion biography for this portrait. And through that research, I was introduced a little more closely to what's happened here in Charlottesville, but through her eyes. And I felt, once I was asked to join this team, it felt a little serendipitous that I had had that opportunity years ago to actually come back to Charlottesville in this capacity as an historian to help provide context for the team through the work that they're going to do with the community. Next slide. As an historic preservationist, I love how the intangible can become tangible, specifically when you engage a place where history has happened. This team will engage communities in terms of the places where history has happened. So my ultimate role is sort of Dickensian. I see myself as simultaneously the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. We look to the past to get informed about our present, and we look to the present to help inspire the future. Thank you.
So, as Glenn mentioned earlier in our process, we have this reveal phase, and I am very sort of passionate about history and the archaeologist of the group. And so as a team, we really conducted a deep dive historical study for all 6 parks. And what you see here is the 6 parks that were given to us. And each site revealed layered histories tied to plantation land, refuge, home, ownership, and trauma. But the 2 things that started to emerge, the 2 narratives that started to emerge is that, as you see here on your left, Forest Hill Park, Tonsler Park, and Booker T. Washington really began to state a space of Black joy, resilience, and persistence. In contrast, Market Street, Court Square, and Belmont were spaces of exclusion, grief, and trauma. And I know that the city of Charlottesville, the citizens know this. So together, the 6 parks really formed a connected narrative of Black life in Charlottesville. So as a team, we made the decision to engage all 6 parks with regenerative art that honors the past and imagines a just future. So as we deep dived into the reveal, again, this is all in-house, just the team, we were looking for the next phase of Inspire. And as we spoke with the artist, with our other group members or team members, we were looking for that unifying medium, and the answer was right under our feet. It was the land itself. It was the soil. And the soil served as both material and metaphor, surfacing stories and linking all 6 sites. As we moved from thinking of soil as the material, we asked ourselves, well, what is the technique to take this soil into form? And the idea of rammed earth was what we chose. This is an ancient technique that uses soil, and in modern times, you add a bit of cement and it creates a solid form, a layered form. It opened our eyes to the opportunity for the earth, the soil, to be literally collected from sites locally here in Charlottesville, potentially the state of Virginia, and why not nationally? The land becomes the narrator of struggle, place, and resilience. So now, as the team, we had to kind of look at what would these forms be. And we came up with, at this moment, the towers and pillar forms. The 2 towers would act as central anchors. One of these towers would emerge from Booker T. Washington Park, and it highlights the park's Black joy, its festivals, its known identity as the space, the Black space here in Charlottesville. By contrast, the other tower would rise from Market Street Park. And the focus for that was it needed a regeneration, it needed a reclaiming of that Black narrative. The pillars would then occupy the other 4 sites. And just like the other teams, when we did the tours, each of those other 4 sites had very unique neighborhoods, very unique citizens or residents. And so those 4 pillars would be expressed by the neighborhood-specific narrative, stories. The pillars would then create a stepping stone journey connecting stories and linking the 2 towers. So now we have the bronze ingots as part of that material to be used. And working with our artists and the team, we had to think about how to regenerate that heavily loaded material. What we envisioned here in the towers is we wanted to try to flip the script and recognize a monumentality of something like soil as an exterior skin. And unlike the Robert E. Lee statue that had its bronze on its exterior pushing on power, we thought of the bronze as an interior skin where an individual would be able to understand, recognize, and feel that more intimate expression of the bronze. The bronze would be layered with symbols and stories that would be community driven. the bronze ingots is now transformed and changed. In the pillars, in the other 4 neighborhoods, we envision using those bronze ingots as additional strata that wraps around the pillars. And similar to the interior skin of the towers, the symbols and stories would be community-driven. So with the pillars and towers, we wanted to back up and recognize.
I think it skipped one.
Thank you. We wanted to recognize that the Jefferson School has already done amazing work, and one of the things that we really took from was the public tours. So what we see is that these towers, these pillars, can potentially become those storytelling beacon that carries on this, what we term as a black narrative network diagram that you see here. So everything that you saw, the forms and what we went through, that was all in-house. We were given this proposal and we really had to kind of think of that, but that is just the beginning. The next step is the artist in residence phase, and that specifically brings the community and our regenerative landscape artist, Jordan Weber, to collaborate directly through workshops and sessions that are led by our artists. We expect that these forms will evolve with that input. The final work is created with the community, shaped by your voices and your lived experiences.
Thank you. Can I give you this? Dr. Douglas said, "We don't need outsiders telling us what to do." And that just happens to be the core of our public engagement model. You are the community experts, and we are the vehicle that helps you reach that vision. My name is Kim Sesko. I'm a managing principal at Public Engagement Associates. I am joined by my other principal, Steve Brigham. Together, we have more than 20 years of experience ensuring that communities can provide input on issues that impact their lives and their neighborhoods. Now, parks hold a special place in many communities. It's where we take our children, we hold our cookouts, we skateboard, scooter, power walk. It's what brings us together and creates a sense of belonging, those neighborhoods. And I know many of us can remember a neighborhood we really loved as an adult or a child. This community engagement process starts with the people. It's a community-led approach where we are meeting people where they are. We are creating opportunities and activities for you to provide input in this process to help you realize your vision. It starts with our artists in residence and our Plowshares Design Consultation Group. This is 25 to 30 descendants, residents, and activists who will advise the artist and collaborate with him as we revision and design this artscape. A part of our outreach team would be the neighborhood ambassadors. This is something that was in the first phase and that we have used many times in different communities. These are 8 representatives from the various neighborhoods around the 6 sites, as well as some citywide residents, and they would represent our voices and help us within the outreach process. We also want to make sure that there are youth voices at the table. And we will do that by ensuring that they are participating in these art activities and creating a vision as a part of this legacy. Through that, we'll be hosting different focus groups and story circles to ensure that they are a part of this process. We want them to share their ideas, their experiences, and their vision for these spaces. And we know we can't do this alone. We work with our local outreach partners. Now, these are community leaders, formal and informal community leaders, businesses, organizations, and residents who want to stay involved and connected in the process. And we make sure that we are linking them into the outreach and engagement so they know what is happening and when it's occurring. So how do we accomplish all of this? This is a 5-phase community engagement process. It starts in August of 2026 and goes through October of 2027. The first phase is our planning phase. This is when we work with the Jefferson School and our planning team in order to develop and finalize a detailed community planning plan, a participation plan. This will provide the information on what are the outreach and engagement opportunities. It will include what is the communication and messaging, and more importantly, it will inform the public how you can participate in the process and when you can do that. In that planning stage, we are also identifying our neighborhood ambassadors, design consultation group participants, and ensuring that that input is incorporated into this final outreach plan. In phase 2, we kick off our community collaboration with our artists and residents. So Jordan Weber will be meeting with the design consultation group, and they will begin to collaborate on the first phase of how does this art evolve based on the community input. He will meet with them. He will be here for 3 to 4 weeks as our artists and residents, ensuring that he is collaborating with the community in a round of 3 to 4 meetings with the design consultation group. And the goal of this is to ensure that we are revisioning and incorporating your ideas into the design process across all of the 6 sites. In phase 3, this is when the broader community input begins to take form. You will have a draft design of what the art and open space looks like. We would be out in the community, hosting open houses, participating in pop-ups, and using online engagement to ensure that you can participate in this process and share your ideas and vision. The push team will then use this information to, again, create another design, a final design, for you to reflect upon as a broad community. Throughout this process, we're continuing to engage the public. We're continuing to host meetings, attend community meetings, as well as host open houses so you can see the evolution of this design. Once we get to our stage 5, we are looking at our celebration, our art and celebration, recognizing that this vision with the community input is now in its final phase. We will do this by hosting celebrations and meetings and activities throughout the city and all of the 6 sites. This will also leave the Jefferson School and the city of Charlottesville with enough information to proceed with the final plans for the art installation and the landscape design. In closing, I am going to say that this Recast and Reclaim is a bold initiative that addresses a phase of American history that impacts generations. We want to ensure that there are informed and diverse participation in all phases of the community engagement process, and that you as co-creators are able to see this vision as the final result. Thank you.